one of the things when I would go and do in summer, looking for content around here, when a lot of things are shut down because we're dealing on a lot of the college athletic schedule, when I would go and travel and do MLB parks and bounce around and go in to BP and just interview people. And I have my biggest a-hole award and the nicest guy, the coolest guy award.
I know who won the first one.
So you were down there for a week. There was a lot of, they're all right there. Who was the coolest and who was the biggest jerk?
I will say most of them I thought there would be some standoffish people. There really weren't many. To people's credit, maybe they know, it's the media that they've got to, they've got a job.
Well, they're there to promote themselves.
Correct.
Yes.
So that's part of it.
This is a little bit different where I'm kind of intruding on, sort of the MLB players and managers. So
Dustin Poirier, really cool, but I'm a fan of his. So I talked to him for about a minute.
The MMA UFC guy?
UFC guy. He was there promoting some stuff.
Louisiana guy?
Guy. But got to talk to him. Very cool guy. Down to earth. Very genuine.
Acadiana guy? He should be, huh, Charlie?
Absolutely.
Everybody from Acadiana.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a warm, friendly,
They say never meet your heroes, but he was a really, really cool dude.
Okay.
I'd say just some random ones like Mike Florio. I kind of didn't think he would be like the nicest, outgoing, warm guy.
He was okay.
He had a great conversation.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Who's accommodating and who's kind of, no matter where you're from. Yeah.
Even some guys that I didn't talk to, but I saw talking to young, up and coming reporters all week. Chris Sims was one of them. Works with Florio, so maybe that makes sense. But just people.
Sims was okay.
Yeah, very willing to
the
make
guy
time
showed
for
up at campus in a limousine, huh? Silver spoon. That's good. He's grown up. Okay.
So
he never had a chance. As far as the label, going to Texas, soft, upseated, with no experience, the Big 12 Offensive Player of the year before. Come on,
Emmitt Smith was booked quite a bit, so I didn't get to talk to him very much so, but I saw him joking around with a lot of people throughout the media row, just, making people's day.
Yeah.
So that was really cool as well. I will say, I hate to be critical of the guy, but someone who definitely does not want to be there and doesn't really hide it too well is Joe Burrow. A lot of people after him. He's got a big crew with him for sure. But you could tell in some of the media interviews that he had, he's there so he won't get fined, basically, in the words of Marshawn Lynch. So Burrow, he's made it big at this point, and I think he was just there because
he's not obligated to go, but if he's got endorsements, he is.
Sure, but they've got these endorsements for the year, and this is the one year the one day they've got to show up. And maybe he was just like, all right, here we go.
Yeah, they have to. Boom, we'll ask you 3 questions, and then boom, hey, you here represent Campbell Soup, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Tell me about,
I'm just going to go out on a limb here. He's aggravated because he doesn't want to go back to the Super Bowl unless he's playing in it.
Sure.
Yeah, you hear that a lot.
Well, the only guys are, Charlie, though.
But I get it.
Okay.
I get it. And he just probably doesn't hide it as well as most. How many times we hear that? I'm not going to the Super Bowl till I go with my team. We hear that in Omaha a lot. I'm not going to the College World Series till I go with my team. That's probably
and even at NFL honors, he got honored with Comeback Player of the Year.
Yeah, and he said,
I don't think I'm going to win it.
No. This is not an award you want to be nominated for every year. It's the last 2 out of 3 years I've been nominated.
Sure, he wasn't rude to anybody. It's just like he clearly didn't want to be there, and some people don't want to be there. That's fine. I get it.
I think that's a direct result of how their season ended. They were supposed to be in the playoffs, and they weren't.
They weren't supposed to be in the playoffs.
At the beginning of the season, they weren't supposed to be in the playoffs.
The beginning of the season. But
he expected to be in the playoffs this season. And it was a disappointing season.
They were about 500-1 midway point.
Yeah, but it was a disappointing season for him. As
I thought they would win the division.
Yeah,
they had a cake schedule compared to the others. They finished third or fourth? They had third or fourth place schedule. So they were playing. We thought New England instead of Buffalo and Miami.
Yeah,
in the Jets.
Yeah,
so they
lost to the Patriots in Week 1, and sure enough, they missed the playoffs by 1 game. So it counts. Week 1 counts the same thing as Week 17.
He would have much rather been playing.
That's good, Charlie.
You would be surprised at how many people say, "Well,
it's not college football." It's not college.
I understand.
Yeah.
Kellen Moore is what I'm most interested
in
because the news this morning that Mickey Loomis has finally called all the other guys and said, you're not getting a job. The Saints will announce Kellen Moore probably later today and then have a press conference, I guess, tomorrow, the next day. He was a leader at Boise State, I thought, Jimmy. Now, this is a whole different type of leadership, but
as a player?
Yes. As
No,
a player,
no.
he was a terrific leader, right?
You were fishing, and Max and I talked about how his path, his skill set, and because limited arm strength, limited athleticism, no, really unathletic, to be quite frank. But man, now listen, their supporting cast was probably the best when he was playing, but damn it, he was a overachiever as a player, and those guys usually make the best coaches.
Yeah.
No, that part of it. I mean, he had to be strong football IQ to be an overachiever at that position. The pressure, and the biggest drive I remember was on Labor Day night, was in Landover, where the Redskins were playing at the time against Virginia Tech, who was a top 10 team. Bam, he went down the field like surgical. So I mean, his path, like Magic Johnson and who else, all the great Michael Jordan's not good,
Right.
Good coach, but no, his path gives you an idea that he's a cerebral kind of a football IQ guy. Yeah.
I think he'll be fine with all that. I'm not worried about his play calling at all. It's way down the list. I think he'll be fine there. We went through some of his Dallas numbers and, of course, this year. But the number one question will be, as an organization, what kind of input will he have into roster building? Because Sean Payton had a large role in roster building, and I'm convinced that outside of probably Derek Carr, that Dennis Allen had very little. And we see when Mickey Loomis is left to his own devices, they've been a poor drafting team. They've been a poor free agency team. They've been an absolute disaster as a cap handling team. So he has been, look, we went through Howie Roseman yesterday and some of the things he's done in Philadelphia. More seen it work up close at the highest level. Okay. He went through the dysfunction in Dallas and how that organization works. He had a pit stop out in Los Angeles and then in Philadelphia. He knows the game. Is Loomis going to listen to him? I have no idea. At the beginning, I thought, look, Mike McCarthy's, age and all that, and coming out of Dallas is not going to be the most attractive thing. But I thought that Loomis might have listened to him if he took the job. And when he pulled out, my first thought was they didn't give him any personnel control at all. So he was like, no, I'll sit out a year before I go coach again, rather than listen to Mickey. Now, Kellen Moore's in a lot different situations. A much younger man. This is his first coaching job. I'm concerned. Not about Kellen Moore's ability, but in Kellen Moore's influence inside the building. Because if they continue to squander draft picks the way they have, not value draft picks is the way I should put it, and handle a cap the way they have, I think it makes it difficult for any coach.
Charlie, they could have hired anybody, and you would still have the concern.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, come on.
You are correct. You could have plugged anybody's name in right there, and those are my concerns.
That's nothing on Kellen Moore. And look,
no,
you listen to him talk. I mean, does he look like he's the most persuasive guy? Unless he's some kind of silent assassin or some meek, warrior. I mean, I worry about him getting, professional athletes to inspire. But, everybody's still dealing with the short deck, what a weak hand in dealing with the Saints run by Loomis. I mean, that's why this is this is a league that you're supposed to go from worst to first and first to worst. You have actually a shot from year to year. Yeah. And they're a compromised organization. That guy's track record wouldn't last anywhere else. He would not have a job with any other team. And they got some poorly run ones.
And there's a chance.
And you don't think you think he should go get, Kellen, come on in, take control, Buck. You got it.
I'm not going to say he's going to take control, Jimmy, but
if
he says when Loomis is sitting there at 9. And somebody falls to 5 that he's in love with, okay? And he says, hey, what do you think about trading up for, I'll just use Mason Graham, okay? And Moore goes, man, you know what? I'd really rather not sacrifice the picks that it takes to move up. And Loomis listens to him, that kind of thing, okay? Or I don't want to sign this free agent. I'd rather, spread my money around, do it. This is going to get worse before it gets better, most likely. Now, the schedule may save them next year as far as the record, but the team is probably going to have to get worse because they're going to have to do something with those 5 big contracts. And it's going to leave them short.
Loomis just got the autonomy. He's not giving it up now in that spot because Peyton was always the one driving that ship. He was as predictable as anybody on draft day. As anybody. He's identified, moving up, give up a late pick. They do it all. every
I wish
year
it was
they
just
did
late
it.
picks. It was third and fourth round picks.
Sometimes, 6 and 7, they thought they could get guys off the street.
Next year's number 2. You throw that in. Those kind of things drive me
all
crazy.
over and over.
Yeah. So that's the biggest question.
And this guy doesn't have the panache or the status that Peyton did, and that's obvious.
No, he doesn't. But what kind of influence will he have, if any?
He will have influence, it seems, based on what we heard from Mickey Loomis about the future of Derek Carr.
You believe Loomis?
I think Derek Carr, yes. He's going to let his head coach, his offensive-minded head coach, decide who the quarterback long-term
Well, heck,
can be.
I mean, maybe the defensive head coach for the Jets made that call too, huh?
The defensive head coach for the Saints certainly made it. Dennis Allen was the biggest cheerleader in the room for Derek Carr, and he was a defensive coach, and they followed him on that.
Well, he had an association with him. He liked him.
Yep.
With the Raiders,
Right.
He thought he was a good player. And look, I mean, we've been through it. He's very average. He's not terrible. The fans don't think he's average. I mean, they think he's the worst quarterback in the history of the game.
That's why I'm saying this is going to get worse before it gets better. I'm asking them to cut a player that gives them the best chance to win next year.
Yes.
Derek Carr is better than any quarterback they have or can reasonably acquire than to win games next year. But it's not your path forward as an organization.
We're on the same page there. It's got to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
No, we're on the same page there. Poor little Kellen Moore going to come in there. I mean, he just rolled the Super Bowl and he was kind of like timid in the interview and stuff. I mean, I don't know, man. I just
speak softly, carry a big stick.
You know what? Seriously, kind of almost like Loomis got a yes man.
I'm worried about that. I'm very worried about that.
You should be, and it's going to happen. You're not giving up the autonomy yet.
You
just got it.
Okay, can you take some advice, maybe? You know, I mean, I'm not saying you got to let the guy run everything, but hey, Mickey, quit giving away second-round picks. Hey, Mickey, quit extending these contracts in perpetuity for 35-year-olds.
To Loomis's defense, that wasn't Loomis. That was Peyton, Charlie. That was Peyton who consistently gave up those picks to move up on draft day. Over and over, all the time. He's very impulsive. He was driving a ship. Because he had the status. Boom, you go to the NFC Championship game your first year. No, he's calling the shots.
The Olave Peyton trade, Penning trade was Loomis.
What did they never move back?
Never.
Ever. Okay.
Never.
So they always moved up.
Yeah.
I mean, Peyton was doing it.
Peyton did it most of the time, yeah. But this last one, that was on Loomis, the Olave Penning trade where they gave up that second-round pick for free.
We're live here at Mike Anderson Seafood on Lee. Yes, indeed. Love is in the air over here. The guy that comes early to everything. He's only 3 days early for Valentine's
Captain
Day.
Valentine?
Yes, Captain Valentine's. Boy. Yeah. Piping hot. Shrimp au gratin. Did you get that? Did the guru approve of your lunch today? There you go. Slam dunk. Hey, the kick and shrimp appetizer, a Mardi Gras feature today. Jalapenos and shrimp deep fried sauce and a sweet chili glaze. The shrimp, crab, and corn bisque is also a Mardi Gras special that we have. The entree, the Endymion salad, grilled chicken, spicy boiled shrimp, crispy bacon, purple onion, tomato, and mozzarella cheese served with your choice of dressing or garlic bread. That sounds like you, Charlie. The alante, the 2 catfish fillets fried and then stuffed with a crab meat stuffing, topped with Louisiana crawfish tails and shrimp sauteed in butter and wine sauce with onions, button mushrooms, and seasoning. Serves with your choice of salad or coleslaw. And the king cake bread pudding with New Orleans French bread, baked golden brown, layers of brown sugar and cinnamon, topped with a piping hot warm buttercream icing.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorat loves the piping hot. It's in the air. And listen, big crowds coming in this weekend, of course. So here for Valentine's Day. Doors open at 5, but Friday we're open all the way through the day from 11 a.m. all the way to 9 p.m. So doors are open the whole day, not during the week like Monday through Thursday. We close from 2 to 5.
Live, Mike Anderson's live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and ThibodeauStore.com, where you can get some great specials on the website right now. Cajun cooking, specialty cookware, shipped right to your door. It's right at the top of the website. Milwaukee combination wrench sets on sale right now. The metric wrench sets, channel lock shop vacs, 50% off right now. Big Green Egg cookers, the ultimate cooking experience. Get those off the website.
Got mine from the Thibodeau Store.
That's right.
Yes.
So you can shop at ThibodeauStore.com. Also, your lumber, you need your lumber delivered, that comes out of the Pierre Part store, but you can check them out, ThibodeauStore.com. Tons of crawfish pots and jambalaya pots as we get into season, and lots of fishing gear, too, if you're heading down to the coast. 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online it's ThibodeauStore.com.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Jackson Hewitt makes taxes feel like a yacht rock song.
People, please, give me my biggest tax refund, please. You, me, and a lifetime accuracy guarantee.
And now get $100 just to try Jackson Hewitt. Does your tax person do that?
Say goodbye to that no guarantee tax guy.
Ready to sail through tax season? Go to Jackson Hewitt and you'll be
Reeling in the refund.
limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Sound Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Sound Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our free large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with a sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
GMFS, changing lives.
T. Brown here, CEO of GMFS Mortgage, which we started in Baton Rouge in 1999. Thanks to you, we're celebrating our 25th anniversary. That's 25 years of helping thousands of you get into your dream homes. 25 years of helping thousands of you refinance to the best rate possible. And 25 years of helping many of you consolidate debts. The last 25 years would not have been possible without you, our clients, and our over 200 employees who come together every day through our Baton Rouge area offices and headquarters to provide you with award-winning customer service. If you're in the market to buy, build, renovate, or refinance, do what thousands of Louisianans have done over the past 25 years. Go to gmfsmortgage.com to start the process now and give us a chance to personally say thank you.
GMFS, changing lives.
GMFS NMLS number 64997 is an equal housing lender. Mortgages originated at 7389 Florida Boulevard, Suite 200A, Baton Rouge, LA 70806, subject to credit and property approval.
You want a dry and cozy car, but your windshield leaks water and makes your car wet and smelly. That's why you need Advanced Windshield, the problem solvers in auto glass repair. We use quality parts and tools to ensure a perfect seal every time. Visit us at advancedwindshield.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Yanni from Mike Anderson Seafood on Lee Drive on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Back here at Mike Anderson's Live at Lunch. You can always get the show on demand. LouisianaSports.net. Jimmy's picks up there every day, too, with the Otter Locks.
Sorry about yesterday.
What
smoked. 0 for 2.
In North Carolina?
2 dogs got smoked. North Carolina and Baylor. Yeah. Houston got game time decision, got one of their guards back, so they smoked up.
We'll do better tonight. We got a huge card we're going to talk about later in college basketball.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Also, another handicap will be posted later today. It is the second of our 2 previews for LSU baseball with me and Dan Canterbury. That'll be up on YouTube a little bit later today. Okay, multiple reports that Former Chargers head coach Brandon Staley,
Oh,
a
no.
serious candidate to be the Saints' new defensive coordinator under Kellen Moore.
This is where hiring a young coach is he's going to just stick to, Nussmeier. He's been with him at these stops, but Nussmeier is, he's a veteran. He's been around for a long time, way before Kellen Moore, been coaching way before Kellen Moore. Staley, on the other hand, really. Now, listen, because he was one of the worst in the history of the game as a head coach, can he be a good coordinator? Of course he can. But I got my concerns for obvious reasons.
We have 1 year as a defensive coordinator in the NFL for Brandon Staley. It was with the Rams in 2020. They were number 1 in the league in points and total yards allowed. Now, they had some heat over there. Starting with Aaron Donald. I mean, when you start with the best defensive lineman in football over a 10-year period, that's a pretty good place to start. And he wasn't the only one that was with that Rams team. So, look, they were the best. Number 1 in points, number 1 in yards. That's how he got the job in the first place. But he was working with an awful lot of personnel over there. I wonder if this is I think it's a little bit young coach and a little bit, it's the middle of February. Those other coaches have been picking over potential staff hires for quite some time now. So that didn't help either. Max, you love Brandon Staley, right? That was your guy out in LA.
Not quite anymore. I liked the prospect of him as a head coach because he was a defensive-minded coach who was pro analytics on fourth downs, which is rare. Most defensive coaches are very, punt happy. That was not the case.
That's a trend. Yeah,
that was not the case with him. It turns out, though, he wasn't a great defensive coach when he was there with the Chargers, and there was a whole lot of other mess that went on with him. So, yeah, he wasn't a good head coach.
He's not alone on the analytics approach, especially for a young coach, just to not, balance it out. I mean, he was going by his chart no matter what and not paying attention to any type of game flow.
He wouldn't be the first guy that was a good coordinator and not a very good head coach. In fact, the guy he worked for in Denver is a prime example of that. Of course, he's Vic Fangio. Okay, toast to the town after that performance the defense had. And Vic Fangio was coaching linebackers when the Saints had the Dome Patrol. I mean, he's been around forever. But as a head coach, it didn't work out.
He did a good job with the Dome Patrol. I could have, you could have, Max could have, Zorak could have did it as well. So, he did a good job on Sunday. Hell, I mean, all of us could have done that as well.
But he's been in the league for 30 years.
No, Fangio. I like Fangio. And you know what I like about him? The Dolphins sent him off because he was too tough on them. Man, the modern day, some of these guys they're not allowed to coach.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't think Miami's soft as cotton?
Absolutely.
Shoot.
The softest. The softest.
You think Flores doing a pretty good job?
I like him. Nobody.
Hell yeah, he's doing a good job.
Nobody will hire him as a head coach because he's suing the league. But
that could be a problem.
It is. I promise.
So
you.
he's suing the owners.
Yeah,
and he wants an owner to hire.
Right.
That could be a problem.
But I love him as a coach. No, so it's just I don't want to just say that we didn't think much of Staley as a head coach, but maybe a very good coordinator. He was in the 1 year that he's had.
Charlie, to Moore's defense on this assembly of staff, he's dealing. He's got last pick.
Yeah, today's February the 11th. He's got just getting around to this.
The timing in the situation.
You want to
in the worst situation in the league.
Yep. And if you want to hire a guy from the Super Bowl team, you got to wait this long. I don't know if they. Where do you think he was on the initial list?
Vic Fangio. Think he's a better coach with the Eagles personnel on defense, or would he be with Atlanta's?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Where do you think Kellen Moore was on the original list for the Saints? I mean, just a guess. If they had a list somewhere in the office said this is the guy, where was he on the list?
6th or 7th?
Yeah, that's about right. And so probably if you're going down, man, if I could have had any available defensive coordinator, those guys probably got hired already. And it's going to be that way down the staff. This is part of the price you pay for the situation.
We all wanted Allen to be, to get to everyone, but I mean, it beats Rizzo. Or Rizzy. I call Rizzo.
Yeah,
come on, you can't hire him.
No. This has got a chance. Okay, maybe Kellen Moore's the next great head coach. Who knows?
Maybe it's premature. Maybe it's not warranted. But he does have a little respect within the industry.
Yep.
He does.
And
I mean, he's gotten some good job. You don't think people wanted that Eagles offense coordinator job?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
And regardless of how many players he had stacking the deck, he still got that Super Bowl ring, and that means something. So, I mean, there's plenty of other talented teams in the league that don't have a Super Bowl ring. There's one in Buffalo that jumps right to mind.
Maybe that'll command a little respect.
It doesn't hurt.
It
doesn't hurt.
No,
run in there with that ring.
It doesn't hurt at all. But it's hard. It's an incomplete. I mean, who knows?
We hope. Yeah. We hope. I'm hopeful. Hope springs eternal, Jim.
I guess you could do worse. I just, my big picture thoughts are on the Saints. So
they're similar.
Until late.
Why can't Brandon Staley be Dennis Allen?
He could
be.
He could
be.
Yeah. We got a very limited sample size with him as a defensive coordinator. There's no reason, just because he wasn't a good head coach, that he can't be a good coordinator.
That's it. That's a good point. Don't forget our friends at K&M Automotive. My buddy Jason Payne at K&M Automotive on Segan and Perkins, right across the street from Ambrosia Bakery. It's the only place I take my vehicle. We're not trained mechanics, so when that check engine light comes on, what does it mean? Well, bring it in. They'll run the diagnostic. They'll find out what it is. Hey, he's going to be busy. I mean, that's because he gives people an honest deal. People are so satisfied with the service and the price that they get over at K&M. They come back. If he's too busy, he'll give you a time when it's more convenient for you to come in. You can drop it off if you want, give you a ride, whatever you need. We'll make it work for you. And what he's going to do is try and find you a much less expensive, repair instead of replace option. But it might call for a replace sometimes. If he does, that means something is seriously failing with your engine. It's the only place I take my vehicle, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. K&M Automotive, Segan near Perkins, right across Segan from Ambrosia Bakery.
Live at Mike Anderson's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch.
This is Charles Haniger for Total Maintenance. Now is the time to get your AC cleaned and checked before those sweltering temperatures arrive. Ensure your unit is performing at max efficiency, lower your monthly bills, and prolong the life of your central air conditioner. Right now, mention my name or Jimmy Ott and get $100 off that service. Down from $179 to $79. Call Total Maintenance for generators, electricity, and plumbing issues. In Baton Rouge, 480-1000, and in New Orleans, call 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Associated Grocers is hiring. Join one of the top 10 privately owned companies in Baton Rouge with 75 years of success. Associated Grocers offers competitive compensation and benefits, a positive team environment, and great opportunities for career growth. Now hiring warehouse positions, including order selectors, forklift operators, inventory accuracy specialists, and receivers, and facility maintenance. Paid weekly plus potential overtime. Join the job fair Saturday, February 15th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Visit agbr.com. Click on Now Hiring and love where you work.
This is Charles Haniger for Supreme Rice. I sort of feel like a member of the Supreme Rice family because they're from Southwest Louisiana, just like me. So when you're enjoying Supreme Rice, the perfect complement for all your red and white beans, stews, gumbos, and etouffees, know that you're also supporting our Louisiana farmers and stretching your food dollar at the same time. Supreme Rice, for the last 80 years, has been delighting their customers. So pick up Supreme Rice the next time you shop. For more information and unique recipes, learn more at supremerice.com.
Are you looking for the perfect ride for your next getaway? Rent a car for the week at All-Star Toyota and only pay for 6 days. You get 7 days of adventure for the price of just 6. So whether you're headed out on a road trip, you need a vehicle for the week, or just want something new to drive, we've got you covered.
At All-Star Toyota, we offer a wide selection of Toyota vehicles ready to hit the road when you are. Conveniently located at Airline and Goodwood in Baton Rouge. Visit us today or check out our website at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com for more details.
All-Star Toyota, people you know, cars you trust.
If you're looking for some time away, but you don't want to go too far, the Cook Hotel at LSU is just what you've been searching for. Book your getaway today and enjoy a beautiful escape in any of their luxurious guest rooms or suites overlooking the gorgeous LSU lakes. Whether you're here to shop or stay, the Cook Hotel at LSU is where you can find it all. Stay for the weekend, come by, grab lunch, or shop at their alumni gift shop. Visit thecookhotel.com to book your stay today. That's thecookhotel.com.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge is your new home for the New Orleans Pelicans.
Hey, dunks it! Oh, my heavens!
Our Pelicans coverage is presented locally by Industry Makes. Visit 1045ESPN.com for a complete list of games you'll hear on 1045 FM, 1049 FM, and 98.1 HD2. Listen to the New Orleans Pelicans on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge, presented by Industry Makes. Let others make noise. We'll make everything else.
Nothing is more important than your safety and security. Trust the local team at Audio Video Security Solutions to handle your home or commercial surveillance system. Mitchell Fisher and his team can provide all the necessary equipment and installation so you can monitor your home or business 24 hours a day. Get 24-hour live viewing, recording, and playback while avoiding any cloud storage fees. Multiple different systems are available for demo at their showroom on Jefferson Highway. Visit them online at avssla.com. That's avssla.com.
Electricians, want competitive pay and a family-owned company that values you? Boudreaux's Electrical Services is hiring. Power Louisiana homes with Generac home standby generators. Call 225-300-9389 or apply at boudreauxelectrical.com.
Jake and James of Trash Rangers. How does $13.95 a month for residential trash pickup sound to you? Go to trashrangers.com for all the info and make the switch today. That's trashrangers.com.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
12674. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Heading out to Las Vegas, deep in the desert, lives one man. One man of many sports bets. The one and only Andy Isco.
All right, Andy. Looking at the props last week, not your best day, but not a disaster. You did have Philly in the game. That's good. But how did you do? Fair overall for the Super Bowl.
I actually did okay. I just happened to use some of the props that didn't do well, but overall, it was a good day, including the Eagles, of course, and of course that exacta coming in was nice. Philadelphia had the right game plan. I kind of thought what they would do is expect that Kansas City would focus very much on Barkley. So Barkley, I didn't think was going to get a lot done or as much as was expected, but it opened up the passing game for Philadelphia. And they started right away, and they were able to be very successful throughout the day because Kansas City never made enough in the way of adjustments. And defensively, I think that the Eagles had the right plan as well. Let's cover the short passes that Mahomes was likely to try to throw and take away a lot of the deeper threats by just rushing the four guys. And it turned out that those four guys were able to put a lot of pressure on Mahomes, largely due to the weakness that we all thought the Kansas City offensive line.
Yeah, some people giving Vic Fangio a lot of credit. I think it was perhaps his easiest game day of his career. I mean, my goodness, we can throw the same pitch all game, Charlie. Preparation, putting alignment, pregame, but damn it, I mean, rush forward, don't we're killing them, don't change.
Well, all I know is it was 34-0, and Patrick Mahomes played 3 quarters in a Super Bowl and didn't score points. I'm gonna give him a little bit of credit. I get it. Okay, he had some horses up there, but it ain't like anybody else has been able to do that to Mahomes in a Super Bowl. I mean, even in Tampa game, they scored points. This game is over, and
Charlie,
they have scored no points.
This is what they did all year. We talked about this before, that they were in the top 5 or top 5 as far as blitz percentage. I mean, they were the bottom. They didn't need to. They didn't need to, and this was. I mean, they had 1 first down the first half. Yeah. I mean, why would? I mean, if he did change anything, he would be an idiot. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not saying change anything, but he got them to play a game where Kansas City scored no points. Patrick Mahomes scored no points.
Running a zone requires some execution. Okay, yeah. I mean, that requires positioning. I get that, but I mean, what did they do against in Tampa Bay when they had all kinds of protection issues?
Against Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl, what did they do?
He didn't score much in that game.
Yeah, they were.
They scored 9.
Yeah, and look, the 22 they scored are all garbage to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They scored no points in this
garbage,
game. They scored no points. It was 34-0 before they scored.
But I just think that this is he could have gotten a beer, a hot dog, gone for a walk in the quarter. This one, hey y'all just do this.
Well, maybe
I mean, no, that comes with, scouting, preparation, game plan. Putting them working on your positioning. Like Andy's talking about. No, take that first little look away. Because he had time on his first look. A lot of times it was that one look, and then he looked and he had started having happy feet. Brady did a nice job of that, of talking about how uncomfortable his footwork was, how affected he was.
And not many people make Mahomes uncomfortable.
Yeah. So, but it's something that we did talk about. Houston made him uncomfortable. He was under siege in that wild card game. He really was. He made that play when he was kind of leaning forward, throwing to. Man, he was scrambling. It was nothing easy against that defense in that game. Remember, the first score was off the kickoff return that set up the field goal. They went 3 and out, like in the red zone. So Houston really, they had 180 yards,
something like
in
that
the Houston game.
Yeah.
So we saw some signs, and we discussed these. Nobody expected just a complete annihilation, though. Andy?
No, that was the one. That was the one surprising thing, that the game was that one side. Although, to be fair, my power ratings, and I didn't mention it to anyone because it looked like there was something wrong. My power ratings actually had Philadelphia a 10 points better on a neutral field, largely because of, the Washington game had a lot to do with it, but also the other teams that they had beaten, and the fact that Kansas City had underachieved compared to their power rating basically all year.
The one I was completely wrong on, Andy, was I said I am not paying attention to anybody that's going to reference regular season Kansas City in the postseason, because I felt that they had coasted. But their issues in the regular season, Charlie, were certainly exploited in the Super Bowl.
They knew they had a problem at left tackle. That's why they drafted that kid in the second round. They put him in the starting lineup. They yanked him out about midway through September. They signed a free agent in November. That didn't really work. And they were forced finally late in the season to move what is a Pro Bowl guard out to left tackle, which he's a great guard, Thunny, but he's not a very good tackle, and he got exploited. That was just one of the things along that offensive line, because they've got 2 Pro Bowl guys.
But we know Mahomes and his accomplishments, and this was a team that was a little choppy against decent defenses during the year. I mean, they were one score games left and right. What Super Bowl, what so-called dynasty went through a stretch where they had so many close games? Nobody in the history of the game.
They won more one-score games than anybody in NFL history. That was the one question I had for everybody. We picked the Eagles, but look, I wasn't guaranteed. Said, how can you bet against Patrick Mahomes? Well, if you did that in the regular season, you won 10 out of 17 times.
Andy, what strengthened my argument too was, on my stance on this, was some of the feedback we got. The bigger bets, and this in Vegas, the substantial bets were Eagles. Some of the more respected, you want to call them sharps, respected analysts, Eagles, and Carl Johnson at the Bourbon said every $50, $100 bet is on Kansas City. Every one of them. This was a pros. If it wasn't pros versus Joes, this was novices versus veterans.
Well, the RJ runs a poll every year, and I'm one of the people they ask. They ask like 50 handicappers, sportsbook directors, etc., who they like in the game. And of the 50, 30 of them were on the Eagles, 20 of them were on Kansas City. So that wasn't that much of a surprise. And yes, a lot of the large bets were indeed on Philadelphia. There's the old saying, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, shame on you. I don't know if there's a saying for fool me 17 times, but certainly after 17 times, it's a ticking time bomb waiting to go off, and it just went off the other day.
Well, guess what? That streak's still alive. There's still 17 in a straight in one-score game. Yeah, that streak is just fine. That thing was never in doubt on Sunday. Hey, man, we got a great college basketball schedule tonight. The best Tuesday of the season. Usually more on Wednesdays. Anything you're looking at tonight?
Well, who did Vanderbilt just play the other day?
Vanderbilt beat Texas. Down like 4-6, about the 6-minute mark, or maybe 5, and pulled away for a comfortable win. But now wins against Texas, Tennessee, and Kentucky at home.
Who does Texas play tonight?
Bama.
And the line, I believe, is Bama 4. I'm not all that excited about this Texas team. You know, you got Alabama, Auburn coming up. Well, you know, Vanderbilt just did a number on Texas. Now it's Alabama's chance to do that. I'm trying to make a case for taking the points with Vanderbilt. The money has come in on Vanderbilt. It went from 9.5. I'm seeing 8.5 now. I might look Auburn first half, but this Vanderbilt team, you know, we know how they play well at home. It's a look ahead for both Alabama and Auburn, but Alabama can now say, "Hey, look at what Auburn just did against Vanderbilt. We now have an opportunity to beat the team that Vanderbilt beat that's playing Auburn tonight." So I think that the mindset for Alabama is a lot better than the mindset for Auburn going in this game. Can't lay the big number. Maybe I play them in the first half, and maybe at some point I get involved in Vanderbilt on the game. But Alabama is definitely a play.
Alabama, Charlie, what is their record on the road? You know, my theory on them with the in-conference play. I think their style of play, which is very predictable, it's very analytic driven. They take threes and layups or dunks. Rarely do they take mid-range shots. And I think it's just, you know, it takes some of the guesswork out of playing on the road. They seem to be affected on the road a little bit less than most.
They're 5-0 on the road in the conference, and these have been.
Well, the other thing is they're also coming off of more of a struggle, I think, than a lot of people thought at Arkansas.
Yeah.
So Arkansas starting to play better now.
And these are some good wins. They won at Texas A&M. They won at Kentucky. They won at Mississippi State. They won at Arkansas, which Arkansas is coming on a little bit. So they've beaten some decent teams.
And look, they didn't cover. I had Arkansas in the game on Saturday. Very fortunate. That was a true backdoor. Okay, Alabama was comfortably in front, double digits for most of that game. So that thing swung back. Like to point, our buddy Chris Massero, he turned it off at Arkansas. Didn't think they had a chance to come back and cover that. So that was a fortunate cover there. But no, that was more impressive for Alabama. They could be looking ahead. ESPN game day. They're going to be there. They're all chirping about 1 versus 2. The first time in how long? Certainly the first time in the Alabama Auburn.
First time in Southeastern Conference history.
Mm-hmm.
And I got some other stats that I'm going to run.
And I'm sure the 4 or the 5 in the AP poll are the first time in SEC history.
That's
too.
the first time that has happened.
We got that confirmed?
Yes.
Okay.
And I believe this is the first time that they've had the top 3 spots also in the poll.
Well, Alabama is also a well-coached team, so I think they know what's at stake here.
Well, they
can't afford to look past Texas.
We're a basketball and gymnastics league now.
Don't forget about baseball.
Baseball, yes.
Hey, maybe they can get a head start in pickleball too.
All right, Andy, you're veteran here. All right, how big of an advantage? 11 straight covers, hottest team against the spread tonight. Omaha, downtown, Creighton Blue Jays. They sell it every game. They got the 2-time defending champs coming into town, and it's dollar beer night tonight. How big of an angle is that?
On which one now?
Creighton.
On Creighton? Yeah, they're playing. They are playing very well. UConn clearly not the team that it was the past couple of years. By this point, you would have thought that if Connecticut was the kind of team that we're used to seeing, they would have started to turn it on by now because they did have some tough early season losses, and they've never really seen to get on a roll. So I would not be shocked with Creighton winning tonight.
All right, Andy. Thank you, buddy. Great stuff as always. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks again so much for all season long, your commitment to Football Sunday. Excellent job again this year.
I love doing it, guys. You guys are fantastic. I enjoy it very much.
And there we go. Andy Isko from gaming from thelogicalapproach.com. Hey, don't forget at Relief Windows, they do doors, they do siding, they do shutters. Speaking, our louvered shutters are made from a poly resin material that is made to look and feel like wood. Unlike traditional plantation style shutters, our material is moisture proof, fire resistant, easy to clean. It will not crack, fade, yellow, peel, or warp. These shutters work outstanding in these extreme weather conditions in deep South Louisiana, Texas, and Mississippi, the entire Gulf South. So it also improves your home insulation and versatile and built to order to look sharp as well. Some of our shutters over at Relief Windows. For doors, lock, siding, shutters, and windows. 230-5652 and reliefwindows.com.
Live at Mike Anderson's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
After performing 30,000 dental implant procedures, the doctors here at Fusion Implant Center have witnessed life-changing transformation of so many patients. Hi, this is Dr. Leo Reagan.
And I'm Dr. Michael Casadban. Are you one of the 50 million people who are missing teeth and wearing dentures that just don't fit and are uncomfortable? Well, in just one day, you can have permanent teeth with a perfect smile.
The board-certified doctors here at the Fusion Implant Center guarantee your procedures to be done correctly, painlessly, and cost-effectively. We are the experts who teach these procedures all over the country.
This team of experts and our state-of-the-art operating rooms are conveniently located in one facility. This allows your treatment to be coordinated and can be started in as little as 10 to 14 days.
So don't go one more day feeling insecure or missing out on the ability to enjoy smiling and eating. Transform your smile in one day at the Fusion Implant Center. Call today or visit fusionimplantcenter.com.
Hey, do you love beef? I mean premium Angus beef. Sagrera Farm sells the whole sides and quarters straight from the farm, ready to fill your freezer with tender, flavorful ribeyes, fillets, strips, brisket, ground beef, and a lot more. I want to introduce you to Louisiana's own Sean Sagrera of Sagrera Farms, a hidden gem just 30 minutes north of Baton Rouge. What's Sean's secret? Mating genetically superior Angus cattle and then ensuring that every day in the life of his cattle is a great one. Happy, healthy cattle, finished on grain, dry-aged 45 days, creates consistent and predictable, flavorful beef. When you take a bite of Sagrera Farms beef, you'll know that this is not some mass-produced afterthought. So if you want the best, and I mean the best in Angus beef, go online to sagrerafarms.com, or better yet, call Sean right now at 225-719-1723. Sagrera Farms.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
Julio Malera here with the Business Report, inviting you to elevate your leadership skills at our annual Elevate Your Leadership and Your Team event on Wednesday, February 19th from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Join us for an inspiring morning featuring two impactful speakers, international speaker Charlotte Gamble and USA Today bestselling author Jordan Montgomery. This is your opportunity to gain insights that will help you and your team grow. Get your tickets today at businessreport.com. That's businessreport.com.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Cajun Soft Wash, Baton Rouge's largest soft wash company, offers top-tier exterior cleaning for homes and businesses. Certified, insured, and locally owned. They ensure safe and thorough cleanings every time. Learn more at CajunSoftWash.com.
Jake and James, the Trash Rangers. Do you need one more reason to switch your residential trash pickup? How about $13.95 a month for the first few months? Go to TrashRangers.com and make the switch today.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
121-12674. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Yanni from Mike Anderson Seafood on Lee Drive on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Coming on here at Mike Anderson's. We got Mardi Gras menu, huh?
You don't pronounce the R? Did you say Mardi Gras?
Mardi Gras? I'm from Franklin, yeah.
Yeah.
You say that too?
Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras.
Really?
Yeah.
You say Mardi Gras? No.
Yeah. Kind of interchangeably, I'd say.
I think I didn't even think about it till you just said it, but
yeah,
Mardi Gras is what I usually say. Yeah,
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mardi Gras. Mardi
I
Gras.
say Mardi Gras. You
Yeah.
say Mardi Gras. I think that's lovely. I like the way you say it a little bit better. You do have a little. I was talking to the Thibodeau store yesterday. Lady
Yeah.
got on the phone. She was asking, "Are you related to a Dr. Ott that used to be down here?"
Oh,
Yeah, she was great.
Everybody knows everybody.
I remember she was funny, but very personable service
Mhm.
dealing with the Thibodeau store yesterday. The Mardi Gras features over here at Mike Anderson's, the kick and shrimp, the jalapeno and shrimp deep fried toss with a late sweet chili glaze sauce, shrimp, crab, and corn bisque, always popular this time of the year when we put it on special. The Endymion salad, Charlie, this sounds like what you get. You get that salad with the chicken and the shrimp, right?
Chicken and the shrimp, yeah.
Well, grilled chicken, spicy boiled shrimp, and the crispy bacon, purple onions, tomato, and mozzarella cheese. Served with your choice of dress. What dressing do you get?
Sometimes the honey mustard, sometimes
Honey mustard?
yeah.
And the alante, the 2 catfish fillets stuffed with crab meat stuffing, topped with Louisiana crawfish tails, and shrimp sauteed in butter and wine sauce. Man, you got a little bit of everything. That is a little bit of the whole shebang there. King cake bread pudding also. Bread pudding made with New Orleans French bread, baked golden brown layers of brown sugar and cinnamon, topped with a warm, not so piping hot, buttercream icing.
Very nice. Very nice.
Mardi Gras. Show me some, mister.
Our number 2 coming straight ahead. More
Max
on the
had a
Saints.
Headache after his ball across the river.
More on the Saints hiring Kellen Moore as their coach with the first class, second class, no class monster night in college basketball. Also, straight ahead. Hour number 2. Live at lunch from Mike Anderson's 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
That's correct.
Live at lunch. At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service.
Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. With 5 new brands and a huge selection of certified and pre-owned vehicles to shop on one lot, we're sure to have the right ride for you.
Shop BayouFord.com and BayouCDJR.com or come see us just off I-10 in LaPlace. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Community banks touch every corner of our lives. They support us as we turn life's goals into accomplishments. Goals like going to college, opening a small business, buying a home, planning a wedding, or having a baby. From your first car to a new life after retirement, Landmark Bank is here for all of life's milestones. At Landmark Bank, we can provide you with various solutions through personal and business checking, savings, loans, and competitive CD rates. Let's get started. Call me, Jennifer Knapp, at 225-719-1578.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Now that it's cooler outside, this is the perfect time of year to get new windows, doors, and siding by calling me, Tommy, from Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. So set up your free quote today at gotommys.com. That's GEAUX, Tommys.com.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
You've heard me talk about GiveMeTheVin.com for years, but wait till you hear what our customer said about GiveMeTheVin.com buyer Mike.
Excellent experience with the company. Mike was my point man, and he made everything as smooth as possible. Even though I hit a few snags on my end, he was patient, and we made a deal. It was hassle-free, and I would not hesitate to sell another car to GiveMeTheVin.com again.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Don't miss the fantastical, magical, musical extravaganza. It's CYT Musicals the Musical.
This Thursday through Saturday at Abundant Life Church in Denham Springs.
Get your tickets today at CYTBatonRouge.org.
And on February 22nd, CCT presents A Night at the Movies. This family-friendly concert highlights songs from musicals that are also in the movies, big show-stopping numbers, and emotional, powerful ballads. Get tickets for Susical and A Night at the Movies today at CYTBatonRouge.org.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes. We'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
Louisiana Nursery is hiring. Both full-time and part-time jobs are available with good pay and flexible hours. Apply online at louisiananursery.com/careers. That's louisiananursery.com/careers.
At Custom Colors Body and Paint, we're excited to have Will Rapp and Ian McKnight on our team. They're continuing the tradition of exceptional service that Billy Rapp and Pete McKnight began back in 1987. Custom Colors, located in the Industrial Plex off Seagan.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch, first class.
I want a seat in first class where I was booked and ticketed over a month ago.
Second class.
No man should be subjected to the indignity of being labeled or treated like a second-class citizen.
And no class.
Life had become like school on Sunday. No class. I'll tell you what then. Why don't you call me sometime when you have no class?
First class, second class, and no class. Brought to you by Supreme Rice. Buy local with Louisiana-based Supreme Rice since 1936.
And we welcome you back here at Mike Anderson Seafood Wesley at Nicholson. First class, second class, no class. Let's start. We've heard of good debuts before, right? You come on the scene, you play your first game. How about a perfect debut for LSU softball freshman pitcher Jaden Heavner? Came out in her first ever appearance and threw a perfect game with 13 strikeouts in LSU's 8-0 win against Charlotte. I thought it was kind of a neat little thing. They said that kid Javener, part 2. Jaden, part 2. Heavner was very, very highly recruited. And obviously, if you come in, LSU's a top 10 team this year in all 4 of the polls, and she got to start in the first game, and she was perfect. It's about all you can do. Looking forward to seeing her progress. You know, of all the dominant pitchers LSU has had over the years, almost all of them, not quite all of them, almost all of them have been right-handed. She's a lefty, so we'll see.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we'll see how she progresses, but she couldn't have done any better in her start.
Best left-handed softball pitcher.
Am I wrong in saying
was the girl from Tennessee?
Monica Abbott? Was that?
Was it Monica?
I
she was from Texas, or
yeah, but she was up there at the Tennessee. I think
she was a Tennessee one.
Yeah,
okay.
she was left-handed. Yeah,
okay.
Okay. She was just dominant.
Yeah, because most of the, whether it's Jenny Finch or they're all right-handers. A lot of them.
Yeah.
This girl supposed to be that good?
She was very, very highly recruited.
Okay.
I'm not gonna pretend to tell you where she ranks in
Max,
all-time
she was a
softball or whatever.
6-star, huh?
She's out of Florida. She's out of a little town right outside of Pensacola, out of Pace. Okay, good for her. My second portion of first class goes to Jalen Hurts. He's quarterback of the Super Bowl champions. Jalen Hurts has had an interesting career. Player of the year as a freshman, benched as a junior, off the bench to rescue him in a Southeastern Conference championship game, benched in a national championship game for Tua that ended up working out for Alabama in that one. Controversial second-round pick. Ascends to starter, even though they had a former number 1 pick, high pick on the team. Goes to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, plays well. They don't win. Last year was a mess. Came back in this year with a lot of questions. Had a very good year. Top 5 passer rating in the league. Awesome in the playoffs, especially, obviously, the last 2 games. So, first class.
He's awesome against Green Bay.
I said the last 2 games.
Oh, okay.
He was
You said the playoffs.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was good enough against Green Bay. No, it was his weakest of the 3 games, but in the championship game and in the Super Bowl,
bad against the Green Bay.
6 touchdowns, 1 turnover. They win the NFC Championship game by 29. They win the Super Bowl by 18, and it wasn't that close.
Pick your poison. Pick your poison. Spags, you took away the run. I mean, this was option A. He took it away. There were spots all game long, one-on-ones downfield, and he didn't. My biggest pet peeve, overthrowing the downfield, he didn't. Now, Dotson and Smith and they're kind of waiting on the balls, but don't overthrow it. You got a little room for error. You got a guy trailing, and he did what he had to do. And by his own admission, it wasn't his greatest game. He threw the interception and wherever. He kind of looked like he was upset with his receiver's route on that play a little bit. But the thing I think I'm not going to try and perfect. He appears to be a good locker room guy. He's not a diva, that's for sure. He's as mild and chill as he doesn't. You never see him really go and do anything to attract attention to him individually, do you?
No. How deep do you think the rift was with him and AJ Brown last year?
Oh, well, AJ Brown's a receiver,
right? No,
and he was being underused, so he actually had a legitimate. Right, Charlie, we saw that this year.
Yeah,
when he went down, Pickett went to him every time.
Usually when those quarterback receiver rifts happen, it's the receiver that initiates it. They're hard to come out of. A lot of times, you see like Antonio Brown or.
Well, he hung around. I mean, they definitely had locker room issues last year.
They did.
They were horrible.
To come out of the other side of that, and it's still everybody's together, and that's not nothing. So I agree with you that he is. Obviously, he's respected in that locker room, and they like him. They don't disrespect him; they like him.
It appears that way.
Yeah,
it appears that way. But no, those are really not tough. It kind of took the guesswork out of him. That's where. I mean, even on the 4th down. Oh wait, you going? How many 8-man fronts did they face? And on that one, it was a lot. Because we're talking about it. With things we were talking about when I'm in game. When I in-game handicap, I'm not watching the ball. I'm watching the line of scrimmage. Wait a minute. They hadn't blitzed yet. Charlie, they hadn't blitzed yet. I'm watching the game with you. And man, look at the 8-man front. And even on 4th down there, your bread and butter, they don't. And it was a bad call because he made that throw too. Should have been a 30-yard completion to A.J. Brown, probably cost him points. But he did what he had to do. And so, no, he's a good job.
Super Bowl MVP. Second class, good with a chance to be great.
He wasn't the most valuable.
The defense,
I mean that front four.
But this guy's been a Super Bowl quarterback 2 of the last 3 years.
It was very predictable that you would. No, he carried his team. He was individually. He had a better game 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
and a lot of the yardage was down. The field position, 3 of the score drives on Kansas City side of the field, 2 other ones on top of outside the 40-yard line. So you don't see these monster yardage numbers because they had short fields, and that was good for them because they cashed in on those short fields.
Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts. There's a little technicality there. Devontae Smith did a first in the Super Bowl. Max,
I do.
It involves Jalen Hurts.
Pretty incredible, actually. This is the case.
I was going to say 3 titles in the Superdome, but that's not right.
Max, help out Charlie.
Yeah.
Devonta Smith was the first Alabama player to score in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Because Hurts gets credit for Oklahoma. Because he was drafted out of Oklahoma.
Yeah. Bart Starr never snuck one in, huh?
Charlie, Max.
No, I agree. I understand.
It's hard to believe.
I think you got the stat right, but it's like, well, who from Alabama would have?
Was Don Hudson on those Green Bay teams? Was he Alabama guy? Was he the one that got hurt?
No,
Max McGee stepped in.
No, that was Boyd Dowler.
Max, scored the first touchdown in Super Bowl history ever. What school he was from?
I do not.
He spent a week down there.
Hullabaloo. Tulane.
A blue blood.
Yes,
Tulane.
Had that one right. All right. Second class. Good with a chance to be great. You got to.
Alabama had to catch up with Tulane in some history.
Namath, Star, Stable. None of them snuck one in.
No.
You got to talk about a week for college basketball. We're going to get next segment into the card tonight, and then on Saturday. All right, Jimmy, we got this during the show yesterday about when the rankings came out late in the show yesterday. For the top 5 teams in the SEC in the top 5, is that the first time for the SEC? Yes, it's the first time for any conference.
Really?
Ever. Yeah. Now that one was a surprise. The ACC, the Big East, none of those ever had, even as good as the Big 12 has been the last.
When's the last 1 versus 2 that we've seen in college basketball?
It's been since 2008.
2008
in the regular season. Yeah, it's been since 2008. Obviously, this is
Carolina or something.
Probably. I got it written down somewhere, but it's 2008. The matchup Saturday is the first one between Alabama and Auburn in any sport. The Iron Bowl has never faced.
It's an overrated series.
Yeah, they don't put much passion into that. There, this is also with the Gators getting into a top 3 spot. First time in SEC history, the conference has had 4 different teams in the top 3 at one spot. So we just continue to go on and on about the unique season that is SEC basketball and how far they've come. Jimmy, we sat here. This very restaurant and many others 10 years ago talking about how bad the SEC was in basketball.
Oh, we spent so many shows doing that.
And
over the years.
It's like, why don't they spend some money? Why don't they put some emphasis on it? And, well, most of the teams did. Not all of them. Most of the teams did. And you're seeing the results of it now. The SEC has been great in virtually every sport that they have been in. I mean, the football and the baseball, women's basketball, golf, tennis, track, softball. I mean, they didn't even have softball in the league until 1997. And within 10 years, well, maybe 15, they were the top conference in all the land from nothing, from not even having stadiums built. Like, why don't they care about men's basketball? Well, they do now.
Charlie, I remember we were at one of the team dealerships 11 years ago. 11 years ago is when Auburn hired Bruce Pearl. And this was kind of in a, and I'm like, no, this gives them a chance. I mean, nobody could have predicted this level of success. Final 4, number 1 ranking. This, just all the level of excitement, in the arena. I mean, the whole thing. But it was back. It was years and years of this, and it was kind of. This was, LSU won the SEC. What was Trent Johnson's first year?
2009.
2009, Max, 16 years ago. Won the SEC by multiple games. What seed do you think they were?
8 seed.
They were. I mean, is that crazy? You think the SEC champ's going to be an 8 seed this year? I mean, and guess what? Some of my people are telling me too. Guess where they're trying to get out of some of the coach? Because now, okay, why is the SEC? Why is the SEC just all of a sudden flip the script on the ACC? Coaches won, but now they got the budget. So they've got the overall athletic budget in the SEC doesn't compare the ACC. Okay, so they are, boom, the ACC is very weak this year, and the SEC is bigger, strong. But there's another league that doesn't have great overall budgets. It's a very good league that might be vulnerable right now.
The Big East?
Absolutely. Yeah. They have zero money coming in for football. Zero.
Yeah.
And the coaches are kind of sending their feelers out to try and get out of the Big East and, get into the SEC. You might, like right now, we're talking about, okay, you make a change or not. And don't give me what it's going to cost to buy out McMahon all the way. Tell me the difference between this year and next year. Okay? Don't give me the whole figure, what it costs. I mean, come on.
It's about 2.7 less.
Yeah, 2.7. If you want to wait a year, you're going to save yourself $2.7 million. And but if you got the right guy, if you got a Big East coach, Coach Mack, Creighton,
yeah,
huh? That
guy's fantastic. I would ask this question: if you are a big time booster at Creighton, Marquette,
St. John's,
Georgetown,
got a coach there?
Huh? They've turned things around. There is no football program to give money to, so at least your boosters are dedicated to the one sport. But you're saying, but without the football revenue, it doesn't wash out.
Yeah, I mean, they could when when Ole Miss didn't go to basketball boosters when you made them guarantee $3 million annually in player budget / NIL. I mean, the athletic department had to do that. I mean, they could have feel, hey man, if we get Beard, will you be interested? Yes, I'm sure he hustled at that point, and that's where Woody does a good job. But he's got to get out and hustle on this.
But
and,
you see what I'm saying?
I'm sorry, Patino he may be more attainable right now than usual.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. But if you're an LSU booster and you say, I've got X amount of dollars that I want to give to the athletic.
Of course, there's overlapping.
Yeah.
No, there's overlap.
I want to give it to football, or I want to give it to this.
But Will Wade had some guys that were basketball only that are kind of not given as much or any at all, that they feel if the right guy comes in, they would be motivated to support it again.
The last 1 versus 2 matchup was actually 2016, a 3 overtime thriller between Buddy Hield's Oklahoma and Kansas. Kansas won that game.
Where did I read that it was 2008? Then I must have misread.
There was a previous one, but
okay.
Yeah, that was in 2016.
Thank you for correcting me. See, this is what we missed while you were gone. Our fact checker has been on vacation. Luka Doncic made his debut last night in Los Angeles, but meanwhile in Dallas, the Mavericks were losing to the Kings.
Good game.
Yeah, it was a 1 point game. Anthony Davis, he played 3 quarters and then he's got to miss like a month or something. But
he was very good Saturday.
He was very good Saturday in 3 quarters. He's only going to miss a month now, several weeks, whatever. However, in the crowd last night, the crowd was booing. The crowd was chanting "Fire Nico Harrison," the general manager, and one of the fans, actually more than one of the fans, had a little sign said "Fire Nico." They were seen mouthing "Fire Nico" on the screens. So, the Mavericks did what any team would do. They threw him out. It's not enough that you guys are upset that we traded the franchise player for, an outstanding player right now, but certainly a much older player. So what are we going to do to improve fan relations? Throw him out. Citing the NBA's code of conduct, clothing, garments, and signs displaying explicit language or derogatory characterizations towards any persons shall be ejected from said arena.
No expletives. They brought in a sign. They showed him on the sign, and then the guy put the sign down, and he got the in-house camera people do. I don't know, it was Kiss Cam or something like that or whatever.
Yeah,
so he draw it to,
it
and then he goes, "Fire Nico."
Right.
He just mouthed it, and then while they were escorting him out, the fans booed him.
Sure.
Oh, well, I mean, it's just one PR gaffe after the next. I mean, the public comments from the ownership, the new ownership.
Oh, he basically issued, "We're sorry we traded him, but we value all of you guys."
No, cracking on Luka in his lack of commitment to conditioning and things like that. Just kind of, it's just making an unpopular situation less and less popular.
I will say Nico Harrison gets off the hook for that, because Dumont, the Mavs governor, has basically said, yeah, we wanted him out. So this is a bigger thing than just Nico Harrison doing this by himself.
Yeah,
this is the ownership. This is the front office.
I was talking about this thing that he sent out this morning. "Dear Mavs family, we're very emotional in joining me in welcoming these, blah, blah, blah."
They admitted their. I mean, come on, they've admitted it. They're giving rebates, refunds.
Refunds.
I mean,
yeah. Room reading 101 for the Dallas Mavericks.
So Cuban's lost his influence.
He was there last night. He's still a minority owner, but he was there last night. He was shouting at the fans, "Sit the F down," because those guys were drunk and yelling at him the whole game. I understand why he snapped, okay, because they were just giving him crap.
The guys that got ejected.
Not the 2 that you're talking about, but 2 other guys. Yeah, they
ejected those guys too.
Yeah, they were just giving him crap the whole game until Cuban finally had enough, and he stood up. He said, "Sit the blank down and shut the blank up." No class. Dallas Mavericks.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet, not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers, welders, or other craftsmen. Dual purpose part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need, whatever you desire. Give my buddy Martina Patiel a call. Workbox 343-4086 and workboxllc.com.
Live at Mike Anderson's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Are you looking for the perfect ride for your next getaway? Rent a car for the week at All-Star Toyota and only pay for 6 days. You get 7 days of adventure for the price of just 6. So whether you're headed out on a road trip, you need a vehicle for the week, or just want something new to drive, we've got you covered.
At All-Star Toyota, we offer a wide selection of Toyota vehicles ready to hit the road when you are. Conveniently located at Airline at Goodwood in Baton Rouge. Visit us today or check out our website at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com for more details.
All-Star Toyota, people you know, cars you trust.
Take a swing around the parish to one of Breck's 5 golf courses, 2 championship courses, Santa Maria and Beaver Creek, and 3 courses for the more casual golfers, the popular 18-hole Webb Park, and 2 9-hole courses, City Park and the newly renovated J.S. Clark. Breck's courses are designed to challenge every level of golfer, from beginner to pro. So come and get into the swing of things. Book your tee time online or find a course near you at golf.breck.org. That's golf.breck.org.
We are the soldiers of the Louisiana Army National Guard. We are your neighbors. We are your sons and daughters. While we serve part-time, we are learning valuable life and job skills. We are earning money for college, for trade and technical schools, and for certifications. We are proud to serve both our country and our home state. We are your Louisiana Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
If you liked Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar before, you will love the all-new updated Jolie Pearl in downtown Baton Rouge. Jolie Pearl is the place for the true oyster connoisseur, featuring a brand new extended menu. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar features oysters from all over the world, served up grilled, baked, and raw. Stop by for lunch, dinner, or before any event downtown or at the Rip Center. Jolie Pearl. Upscale oysters in a New Orleans-style atmosphere, North Boulevard in the heart of downtown, or online at joliepearloysterbar.com.
Rufino's is proud to announce the March Cooking Experience Contemporary Creole with Chef Patrick Trahan from Rufino's and Chef Mark Riley from Cecilia Creole Bistro. March 11th from 6 to 9 p.m. at Rufino's Baton Rouge. For $150, you can feast on a 5-course meal, paired with hand-selected wines, as your dinner is prepared right before your eyes. If you love Creole, save your spot now before it sells out. Rufino'sRestaurant.com. Rufino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Power outages are unpredictable. Stay ready with a Generac home standby generator from Boudreaux's Electrical Services. Trusted in South Louisiana, we provide expert installation and service. Call 225-300-9389 or visit BoudreauxElectrical.com.
Run with us on a John Deere Z365R Z-Track mower, built for taking it easy. With the Easy Change 30-second oil change system and standard mulch control to control your clippings without any extra effort. Because lawns aren't just for mowing, they're for living. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere Z300 for more.
Pre-order your new John Deere at Ascension Equipment on Airline Highway in Gonzales. Pre-order now and get your mower before the grass grows.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Yanni from Mike Anderson Seafood on Lee Drive on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Today's show brought to you in part by Coastal Capital Advisors. Phil Fontenot and his staff. No 2 situations in retirement are ever exactly alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter what your age or your financial situation is. Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you to tailor, make a plan, and build a lifetime relationship. I know because that's what they've done for me. So contract Phil and his staff at 337-981-1376. Online, it's coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors, member FINRA SIPC.
All right, let's put our heads together here. Auburn at Vandy. Auburn is 9.5, going down to 8.5. Low Vandy. Vandy's beaten Kentucky at home. They've beaten Tennessee at home. They beat Texas at home. Down about 4 or 5, about 5 minutes ago. Pull away, win by 6 or 7. Or Auburn smarting after a loss where they got kind of handled pretty good at their place, especially after leading by double digits early, trailed by as much as 20 at home to Florida, or are they peeking ahead to 1-2 Saturday in Tuscaloosa? Auburn 9 over Vandy.
You know, I'm taking Vandy all day here. For what you just talked about, Auburn gets everybody's best shot, number 1 team in the country. Look at what they've done on the road, Jimmy. They're winning, okay? They're winning all these games, but a lot of them have been close. They won at Texas by 5. They won at South Carolina, who's winless in the league, by 3. They won at Georgia by 2. They won at Ole Miss by 10, but that was a close game most of the way. Really, the only team they've blown out on the road is LSU. So Auburn,
and that one was way more competitive. That was a tough beat if you had LSU.
It was. It was like a 12.5-point spread. And
yeah,
lost
fell
by
13.
Yeah. So on the road, look, they're still winning, and you get a road win any way you can get it. But if you're going to lay 9.5 points,
I'm on Vandy too, Max.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Look, Auburn was in a similar sandwich spot in Baton Rouge, and they ended up covering, but they didn't look very good in that game. They came out pretty flat, struggled shooting the ball. So we've seen this before where a bit of a look-ahead spot, they did kind of let down on the road. So I like Vanderbilt with the points too.
No doubt Vandy. Vandy's not safely in yet. They're in, but they don't have a ton of cushion there. Florida, team that beat Auburn on the road. The best win in college basketball. Now they stay on the road and go to Mississippi State. Talking about a team that's not comfortably in. They need this more than Florida. But State has come up short a little bit in some of these games. Against Alabama, they were very competitive. Man, had a breakaway. Guy doesn't dunk it. He gets it blocked instead. They lost to Kentucky at home. They've lost some of these games at home. Florida 1.5. Letdown spot here in Starkville?
Absolutely. State has come close. You brought up the Alabama game was by 4. They lost to Kentucky by 5. They beat Ole Miss there. Now, listen, 2 games ago, Missouri housed them. One of the more surprising margins in the league this year. In Starkville.
Yes.
Absolutely blew them right out of the building. So they're capable of a clunker, but I think it's absolutely the hangover from going to Auburn and winning. Huge letdown spot. State more than capable at home. I'm on the dog here as well.
Max?
Probably going to steer clear of this one. I kind of see the point in Mississippi State, but just looking at the resume, like you kind of mentioned, Jimmy, they don't really have a good win in conference play. They did beat Memphis on the road in non-con play, but when they've stepped up in competition in conference, I mean, their best win is a ranked win at home against Ole Miss, who I'm not really sold on anyway. So kind of going to stay away from this
My
game.
point, they need one.
Yeah.
There's no compare. Florida's on that number 1 line by some people, 1 or 2. State is in, but not comfortably. This could go a long way. All right, Tennessee and Kentucky. So Zakai Ziegler was out of control, 1 for 17, and losses to Auburn and Kentucky. He gets hurt in that Kentucky game. He sits on the bench, watches his team house that Florida team, about 20 on Saturday afternoon, and then he plays much better. Who was the win in between the 2 games back before? And
Missouri.
Then Missouri, which they shot really well. He made all 4 of his threes, but much less than 8 or 9 a game. And then at Oklahoma Saturday, he had 5 assists in the first 6 minutes. He's creating. So do we get is there going to be a new approach by Ziegler? Or can you feel confident enough to lay 2.5 on the road at Kentucky in a revenge spot here for the Vols?
And I'm going to play the revenge spot. I don't think he's going to shoot the ball 11 times like he did the last time. And
no, he can shoot it on not just from 3.
11 times from 3 is what I'm talking about. And Kentucky, look, they have been anything but dominant at home. look, you lose to Alabama, okay. But, you had a tough game against Florida, and you lost to Arkansas by 10 at home. I know there was the Calipari comeback. They have not just blown the doors off anybody but South Carolina at Rupp Arena. So I like Tennessee. Tennessee's playing really well over the last 3 weeks.
Max, how much Lamont Butler did come back, and he is their on-ball defender. Played 4 years at San Diego State. You're going to have to play, but he played 23 minutes on Saturday's 23-point win against South Carolina.
Yeah, and Butler didn't play in the first meeting when Kentucky won on the road, and they had 13 turnovers to Tennessee's 5. So there was a lot of that game that signaled Tennessee, and yet Kentucky still won on the road. So I'm going to take the 2.5 points with the home dog here at Rupp Arena.
All right, so you guys are split on that one. I mean, Ziegler, sometimes, when you sit a player down, sometimes it's a quarterback, you get a little perspective, and you see, this could have been, he's made so much better decisions in the last 2 games after sitting down. So much better.
7 out of 8 from 3. 7 out of 8.
And that's not sustainable, Charlie. Okay, he's not going to shoot 87%.
Right, of course
I know,
not.
but he's not even that. But I'm more, but 4 attempts a game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of 17 over 2.
If you shoot 1 for 4, the damage is limited.
I'm more concerned with him creating at a higher level for his opponents, because you don't have a guy that can. You don't have players that can create off the bounce. So, this could be, but they need him. If they're going to do anything worth a damn, they need their veteran point guard to play smart basketball and not be a shot happy guy when he's shooting under 30%. Probably over 30% for the year now. Bama, Texas.
32.
Bama, Texas here now, 3.5 on the road at Texas. This is the 4th road favorite in conference play tonight. We just mentioned the other 3. Auburn favored at Vandy, Florida favored at State, Tennessee favored at Kentucky, and Bama favored in Austin. Look ahead spot. They certainly know it's coming on Saturday. Game day coming for the 3 o'clock broadcast against Auburn on Saturday.
Texas has been tricky at home. They beat Mizzou. They beat A&M, both good teams. They lost to Auburn by 5. They lost to Tennessee by 4. They've been a very, very good home team. I like them with the points here tonight.
Coaching for his job, Max.
Yes, and this is going to be a high-scoring game, like every Alabama game, but I see Texas kind of running with them. So 4.5 is not that much, because, the game could end up getting out of hand either side, just because of how many points will be in this game. No opinion here, but it does seem like a look-at spot for Bama. So if anything, it's Texas or pass.
The last one in the SEC tonight, A&M, boy, they are creeping. They're at number 2 on some of the projections as a seed right now. Peterson with another big win at Columbia, Missouri. They were down. It was close, but your boy got the big shot at the end.
Taylor.
The catch and shoot 3 from the right wing, and was contested as well. 8.5's a lot for a team that doesn't really score a ton. Georgia, you talk about a coach that's fighting for his job. Mike White, it's his best team, but he's got to get there. He can't go 0 for 3 for the tournament and maintain his job in Athens.
They've been very competitive at home. They have been absolute roadkill. Their 5 road losses by an average of 17 points in the league. Only one of those games was inside of double digits. So I know it's a big number, but Georgia's been so bad on the road. I like the Aggies here.
I would lean towards A&M. A&M, well, I'm sorry, Georgia team, yes, they get blown out a lot on the road, as you mentioned, Charlie, but A&M doesn't blow out anybody, frankly. Jimmy kind of referenced it with the lack of scoring. Even some of the bad teams they played, they've let hang around. And so I would say the 8.5 points is quite a bit for a Georgia team that could use a win here.
Nice little 72-62 win for the Aggies tonight.
Okay.
That's enough.
How about 72-66? And I'll be
Make
happy.
your free throws at the end, man. Get to the free throw line when you got that lead at the end. How about
Jimmy? One note: your Sports Bettor's Paradise podcast just dropped on YouTube. So for everyone out there, Sports Bettor's Paradise, wherever you get your podcast, you and Paul Stone talked about today and Wednesday best bets in all of college basketball. Good episode today, about 30 minutes long. So catch it out. YouTube, Sports Bettor's Paradise, or look it up wherever you get your
Several
podcasts.
of these games, we got picks and analysis on there that's dropped right now. Don't forget, it's a little warmer today, but, man, it's going to get a lot warmer. Now is the time to take advantage of the Jimmy Ott, Charlie Hannegriff live at lunch special, or even the Max Go Throw special. Yes, indeed. Normally $179. It's just $79. Save you $100. It's going to lower your monthly bills. It's going to extend the lifetime of your unit. It's going to just check everything. Make sure, man, it's a failing part. It's going to cost you a lot more when it breaks down in May. Okay. No, we got to get it down. It's just $79 instead of $179. Call Total Maintenance 480-1000, 480-1000 for your one-time AC visit. Just $79. Normally $179. Total Maintenance, again, one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest air conditioner and heating companies, founded back in 1980. My buddy Lucas Ragusa and the great team at Total Maintenance. 480-1000. Get that AC unit checked now before it really gets hot, before we really stress them for all of the above reasons. 480-1000.
Live at Mike Anderson's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
GMFS, changing lives. T. Brown here, CEO of GMFS Mortgage, which we started in Baton Rouge in 1999. Thanks to you, we're celebrating our 25th anniversary. That's 25 years of helping thousands of you get into your dream homes, 25 years of helping thousands of you refinance to the best rate possible, and 25 years of helping many of you consolidate debts. The last 25 years would not have been possible without you, our clients, and our over 200 employees who come together every day through our Baton Rouge area offices and headquarters to provide you with award-winning customer service. If you're in the market to buy, build, renovate, or refinance, do what thousands of Louisianans have done over the past 25 years. Go to gmfsmortgage.com to start the process now and give us a chance to personally say thank you. GMFS, changing lives. GMFS NMLS number 64997 is an equal housing lender. Mortgages are originated at 73894 Florida Boulevard, Suite 200A, Baton Rouge, LA 70806, subject to credit and property approval.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salad, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales.
There are trucks, then there's the truck. GMC Sierra, with available features like the V8 engine, the ultimate luxury interior, and of course, the available world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra, not just any truck, the truck. GMC's continued commitment to professional-grade engineering is on full display at your Bayou GMC dealer. Come take a test drive today and see for yourself. We are professional-grade GMC.
Associated Grocers is hiring. Join one of the top 10 privately owned companies in Baton Rouge. With 75 years of success, Associated Grocers offers competitive compensation and benefits, a positive team environment, and great opportunities for career growth. Now hiring warehouse positions, including order selectors, forklift operators, inventory accuracy specialists and receivers, and facility maintenance. Paid weekly plus potential overtime. Join the job fair Saturday, February 15th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Visit agbr.com. Click on Now Hiring and love where you work.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Ladies, get ready for Movies on the Plaza, Galentine's Edition. Join us on Friday, February 14th at 5 p.m. at the main library at Goodwood for a night of celebrating friendship. You can make friendship bracelets, treat yourself to a manicure, and enjoy sweet treats. Then at 7, we'll be screening the iconic coming-of-age film, Now and Then, where 4 childhood friends reunite to reflect on the summer that shaped their lives. There's also a pet adoption event from Companion Animal Alliance. For more information, visit ebrpl.com.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross-Ted, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross-Ted exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
Live at lunch with Ott and Yanni from Mike Anderson Seafood on Lee Drive on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Remember, you can always get the show on demand, LouisianaSports.net, 104.5ESPN.com. New Handycast dropping on YouTube today with the second of our baseball previews. Sports Bettor's Paradise, you said podcast has dropped also?
Yep, Max.
Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday picks for tonight, tomorrow with Paul Stone. I think they gave out 10 picks today, so quite a few picks on YouTube, Sports Bettor's Paradise, or look up Sports Bettor's Paradise wherever you get your podcast.
All right, so they sell out every game.
Yep.
Okay, they got a great team. They're kind of hot. They've covered 11 in a row. The hottest covering team in baseball. 2-time defending champs are coming in. 8 o'clock tip and dollar beer. Holy, what the hell? They're going to go nuts in Omaha tonight. Creighton -3 against UConn.
This is the twofer. They had Marquette in on Saturday and UConn in. So if you're a season ticket holder, and we know some up there, this is the kind of the little 3-day stretch that you've been
already beat UConn in stores.
Yeah, I'm not going. I had them on Saturday against Marquette. I thought it was a short number. It was they were trailing inside of 4 minutes on Saturday, and then they pulled away and ended up winning by 10. But that was a hard game with Marquette. But
the technical, the non-call / technical just ended the closest of the game.
Yeah, right. Yeah. They pulled away from there. I'm not going against Creighton here. 3.5 seems like a reasonable number to me. Certainly what I saw on Saturday.
Well, Saturday it went from 1.5 to 4.5. I don't know where you got it.
3.5.
Okay, but same thing with this one. It went from 1.5 to 4. It's settling now at 3.5 is what we're seeing.
3.5, 4.5. Threes are going at this point.
Threes are going now. Okay. I'm seeing 4.5 at the Queen at DraftKings. So, wow. But yeah, Danny Hurley says looking for a motivational angle. Well, one, they're coming off a tough loss. They were winning that game by about 14 points Friday night before St. John's came back and beat them. He's pissed that they're unranked, Charlie. Okay, and don't schedule me for dollar beer night.
Of all the things,
look, he's
why would he care?
Charlie, he's impossible to like.
Yes,
I mean this guy's such a good coach. He's going out of his way to to make him so unpopular. Yes,
this is like the richest guy in the room complaining about his taxes, man. I don't want to hear it. He is. When they won their first national title, I thought, wow, this is the guy that's been overlooked in his family because his brother had such a big name as a player, right, and his dad's a legendary coach up there, and it's like, good for him. And ever since then, he's been an absolute jackass every time you see him in public. He's, like you said, impossible to.
No, he's impossible to like. Max?
A team that always crushes it on their home floor in Creighton, that has not failed to cover but once in 16 games. Yes, I'll be on the Blue Jays. Yes, for sure.
There you go. Macero is trying to fight the run. He is against them every game.
How many? How many are you comfortable with this thing creeping up to? Because once you get to 5, I'm starting to get a little queasy. If this moves up anymore,
I'm stuck on this game. I think it's an inflated line, but because it opened up 1.5. Yeah. 1.5 to 4.5. No, I'm not laying 5. I'm not laying more than 4.
Jimmy, the only thing I'll say is Ken Pom says that Creighton is a better team on a neutral floor.
No, Maxie already beat them at their place.
I would agree, but
okay. Creighton's nobody's hotter than Creighton right now. Nobody. Sure. Auburn's not.
But if it's inflated, then I would think this is closer to 5.5, which is basically what I would play it to. Creighton -5.5.
Being that UConn gets a little bit of Ken Pom preseason buildup, okay, because of their back-to-back championships. That's why the line opened up at about 1.5, even with Creighton covering 11 straight games. I mean, this last year when they beat them. They were, and UConn doesn't have the team they did last year. They were catching points. Okay, they were catching points earlier this year against Kansas. I mean, Creighton's playing better than Kansas right now. So no, they you telling me that under 5, Creighton? I think Creighton is better right now. It's just a bad number. It's a bad number, and Charlie's right on the market. That thing was way closer than the final score for 95% of that game. So they're going to get a bucket. The guy gets fouled, okay? And you're going to go to the line to shoot 2 to cut the thing like to 1. Well, no call, technical, end the ball, 5, boom. The next thing you know, it's an 8-point game. A 1-point game to an 8-point game with 2 minutes to go. And so, that you had that. Illinois and UCLA. Illinois had the Croatian guy, Milicic. He was hurt. He's back now. They've been streaky. UCLA, here's a coach that went on his public. He's been very public this year. This just in, Cronin doesn't like the travel schedule for UCLA in the new Big Ten. We get that. But he also didn't like his team a few games back. He called him soft, said that the diminutive Cronin, said, I'm the toughest guy on this team.
Yeah.
I'm the best defender on this team. That's how bad we are today. Well, they've won 7 in a row. So unorthodox motivational tactic, but they are playing good. They held on to win that Michigan State game by 2. They went 1 for 12 the last 12 minutes of the game from the floor and still held on to win Michigan State. Illinois and Champaign 6.5 over the travel-weary Bruins.
Yeah, maybe one of the toughest, I think, teams to figure since conference play started. It's almost win-loss, 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 win-loss. I mean, they have put together a 2-game streak only one time since the new year started. They have alternated wins and losses. I don't know if that holds up, but that's the way it's been. So I don't know. I'll take the hotter team. You said Illinois is coming off of a win. It's been win-loss, win-loss, win-loss the whole way. So give me the Bruins in this game.
You're like somebody who sits next to me at the roulette wheel. They're due. It's gone win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. They're due for a loss now.
But the roulette wheel is a 50-50. I'm sorry. They put 3 zeros on the wheel now.
3 now?
In some places.
Oh,
yeah.
my gosh.
The house edge isn't enough. But that's the same odds when you spin it every time.
Sure.
Basketball doesn't work like that. Can I ask you guys about Indiana with the Mike Woodson factor here yesterday? He announced that he's stepping down at the end of the season, but he's going to coach.
Oh, he got fired.
The rest of right. Okay,
yeah.
But they made it public, which they don't always do.
Right.
So how does that affect them? They're a double-digit dog at Michigan State tonight.
Yeah, we're getting to that game, Charlie.
I'm sorry.
Max, UCLA, Illinois first?
I'll be on UCLA. They're playing better, and they've had 3 straight home games in a row coming in. So the road trip maybe not as penal this time.
Charlie trying to go out of turn here. No, you roll, boy. Stay in your lane, boy. All right, so at Purdue in Michigan here. Purdue on a Friday night won by 27 in West Lafayette. Michigan here, and talking about their coach. He's been rumored to go back where he was a student manager at Indiana University. I'm not sure about that. Chris Beard, keep an eye on him. He's peaking outside of Oxford these days. Purdue, 2.5-point favorites here against Michigan. The point guard is going to be first-team All-American. He was a freshman when they got beat in the first round, and he was one of the guys that was not knocking down his shots. He's fun to watch. Got a little Steve Nash to him. I mean, he really makes good to see. He's a really smart player and a savvy player as well. Down to 2.5 here. Purdue on the road. Michigan is in a revenge spot at home.
Yeah, they lost that one, but 27. They've won all their home games though. In the league, they are
Michigan.
Yes, they're perfect. Most of them have been close. 4-point win against Oregon, 4-point win against Penn State, 4-point win against Northwestern. They blew Washington out, but they've won all their games at home. They've also and then you go back to the game that they played in December. When they were playing a conference game in December, they won that one against Iowa by 2 points. So most of the time, Michigan has played at home. It has been a close game, so I will take the points and the home team here.
Max?
You mentioned Braden Smith, the Purdue.
I'm sorry,
yeah, Braden Smith. Yes.
Like him a lot. And Michigan, low-key, kind of struggling a little bit. Even though they're winning games, they failed to cover in 7 straight. So something I'm watching for there. I would take the points, if anything, with Purdue.
All right, Charlie's favorite, because I don't have Peacock. So Michigan State, 12-point favorites over Indiana. You gotta draw the line at somewhere. Indiana, gutsy. Oh, by the way, if you had 3.5, a 60-footer to beat the spread at the buzzer to make the 6-point lead, a 3-point final at home against the Michigan Wolverines. Michigan State gave up 50 the first half. They held Oregon to 24. Hey, wait a minute. A 9.5, 10-point favorite, down 20, covers. Ouch, if you had the Ducks on Saturday.
Yeah.
Michigan State back home laying a big number here against a very untrustworthy Indiana Hoosier team.
Yeah, I'm not playing the game, but I want to see how this goes. I want to see what the reaction is from Indiana. Is there relief?
Well, they played Saturday.
But they didn't announce this yesterday, right?
Oh no!
Was it before the game?
It was
Saturday?
about 4 days ago. It was widely reported.
I thought it was.
It's been more official.
They lost. They played hard. They fought back. I mean, they were down most of the game, but I mean, they gave an effort. I mean, the game you go back to was that Friday night game against Purdue in West Lafayette.
Yeah.
That was a 50-50. I mean, that might be their best game of the season. That Purdue, man, that was a hard-fought win in that game.
There are better spots tonight than that one.
Michigan State was rolling for quite some time. They had a big winning streak. Worth mentioning, their 2 losses that came in a row were all on the West Coast. They had to travel all the way to USC and UCLA. We mentioned the struggles of those West Coast teams traveling in the Big Ten play, but that was where Michigan State struggled. So I like Michigan State minus 10.5.
Live at Mike Anderson's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team.
I'm going to try the Endymion salad.
Whenever you're ready.
Jimmy, where's Shuttermore? Okay. All right.
It's rolling.
This is Charles Hannigriff. Join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Los Reyes Mexican Grill. We'll be joined by Scott Rabelais, Wes Reynolds, and professional sports handicapper Randy McKay. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Wednesday from Los Reyes on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. 81-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Do you have hot concrete around your pool, harsh concrete that hurts to walk on, or grease stains in your garage? We Do Concrete Coatings Louisiana can handle it all. We work with you to not only get what you need, but what you want. Locally owned and family operated with 10 years proven experience with construction and concrete coatings. From commercial to industrial, we do it all with the best warranty, ASTM proven products, and the best prices. Check us out at WeDoConcreteCoatingsLLC.com. We Do Concrete Coatings Louisiana.
Call my dad today, 225-400-3835.
Decision Critical, the premier concierge nursing agency in Baton Rouge, is now offering 24-hour packages personalized to fit the needs of you and your loved one. Whether it's for 24 hours following a surgery or 24 hours a week at your mother-in-law's, the dedicated and compassionate private duty nurses at Decision Critical are here to provide the quality in-home care everyone deserves. Visit DecisionCriticalBR.com to schedule a discovery call today.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video, and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
Recall alert? Due for an oil change? Brakes louder than the kids in the back? Bayou Ford can get you in for service today. You don't have to wait. Same-day service. Schedule now at BayouFord.com. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Looking for full or part-time work? Louisiana Nursery is hiring. We have a range of positions open now for garden and plant enthusiasts. Great team members, good pay, and flexible hours at all 3 of our locations, Perkins, Coursey, and Prairieville. Apply online at louisiananursery.com/careers. That's louisiananursery.com/careers. Spring is about to arrive, and we'd love to add some good team members to our crew at Louisiana Nursery.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and OCBrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
Jake and James of Trash Rangers. How does $13.95 a month for residential trash pickup sound to you? Go to trashrangers.com for all the info and make the switch today. That's trashrangers.com.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
121-1674. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Mike Anderson Seafood on Lee Drive on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Winding down here at Mike Anderson's with the new Mardi Gras menu.
Mardi Gras menu, the kick and shrimp, the shrimp, crab, and corn bisque, Endymion salad, the alante, which is catfish with the crab meat stuffing, crawfish tails, and shrimp all in it, and the king cake bread pudding. How about our king cake martini? Also, Tito's mixed with Gambino's Bakery king cake rum cream. Did you get your Randazzo's king cake?
I need, Manny.
You didn't? You didn't?
Have not. Yeah.
No.
I'm going up to New York. I'm going to try to bring some of that with me next week.
You taking some more time off?
It's work related.
Oh,
probably.
okay.
I wish it was time off.
I understand. Philadelphia expecting 1 million people to attend the parade on Friday. One of them won't be Kellen Moore. He is now on the Saints plane on his way about to board the Saints plane.
Is that footage real of him just destroying everything in the city?
I saw the fires.
The light poles and the building smashing.
Didn't they grease the light poles in New Orleans so the Eagles fans wouldn't do that? Or was that a rumor? Yeah, they put the grease on them or whatever, so you couldn't climb the poles right outside the dome. I don't know if that was a rumor or not.
I'll give Eagles
Would've been
fans
smart.
credit. They maybe 85% of the fans that were there in New Orleans. I mean, it was.
Well, you can see it. I mean, Taylor Swift. I mean, you got an Eagles crowd. I mean, you're gonna get booed, girl. I mean, that crew. I mean, I'm not trying to defend the Eagles. Eagles fans can be rough, bro. I mean,
a little bit.
Yeah, no, I mean, BS. Yes, yes.
You throw batteries at the guy in the red suit at Christmas time. I mean, it's a little bit
Super Bowl, Super Bowl championship season. Midway, the coaches, he's cursing with the fans.
Yeah, let's go light the city on fire.
Yeah, man.
Thanks to everybody for participating. Tomorrow we'll be right across the street at Los Reyes Mexican Grill for Max, for Jimmy. Jordan back in the studio. I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.